Now on CoastTV News.
We're seeing a melting trend with temperatures creeping above the freezing mark. Still some ice inland Sussex County. Some plain rain as we go through the day for the rest of us. Then a plunge of Arctic air. I'll tell you how cold it gets coming up.
Road prep pays off. Ahead of Monday's snowfall, crews in Delaware and Maryland, they did their part to lessen the impact of icy conditions.
Trump takes Iowa, the historic win by the former president and the Republican candidate who decided to call it quits.
Still working through this secondary, and a touchdown, Tampa Bay.
The Eagles' collapse is complete. The blowout loss in the playoffs at Tampa Bay.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And here is the scene this Tuesday morning. This is the 5 Points area. Still wet out there. This is just moments ago that we got this footage. Yeah. This is where Route 9 intersects with Coastal Highway. Just some of what we are seeing on the roads this morning. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Paige Marley. It is Tuesday, January 16th, 2024.
Yeah, for delays and closings, check the crawl at the bottom of your screen. As for Eagle fans this morning, Paige, I imagine they're waking up a little salty, maybe just like the roads in our area.
I was going to say, maybe they're feeling like the weather, dreary, down.
Yeah. Gray.
Oh, yeah, gray.
Yeah.
Good one. You know, it is interesting. I'm going to go back to the live cam really quick because when I was there this morning, a lot of cars were out.
Oh, really?
Between like 3 and 4 in the morning. I haven't seen anyone on our live cam, so I don't know. I guess everyone was just up the same time I was when it was coming down. But
they had places to be and things to do.
I don't know. Maybe they're going home to watch Coast TV News, hopefully. Let's bring in First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey. Bob, I asked earlier, is the sun going to come out and make this all better? And not really.
Not really. No, that's wishful thinking. That'd be great if the sun came out, melted everything, and we were fine to go. No, we're not looking at that. We're looking at clouds and rain. We've been seeing temperatures creeping above that freezing mark for the past several hours, pushing that freezing line farther north and west, but still looking at some freezing drizzle near Seaford, back to Milford, and parts of the eastern shore of Maryland. South and east of that line, we're above freezing, seeing just plain light rain and drizzle. But Denton through Riverview, Andrewsville, back to the eastern shore, that's where they're seeing some of that drizzle right now. But you can see the steady rain has slackened off, just some patchy light cold drizzle and some lighter rain along the coast right now. So we're starting to see that precipitation trending downward, but we're still looking at very chilly conditions and snow well to the north across New York and Pennsylvania. So we still have some of this light precipitation to get through as we have a warm front off to the south and east, pushing some milder air in. Winter weather advisory until 8 a.m. for Sussex County, interior Sussex, farther west near Seaford, north of Highway 9, where we have those temperatures below freezing, and then points north and west. Watch for icy roads this morning as your temperatures still near freezing in Seaford and Milford and below freezing in Greenwood, but you work your way south and east and it gets warmer and warmer towards the coast. So we'll be seeing that warm up this morning with the clouds, patchy drizzle, light rain. Temperatures do warm into the 40s, we believe, later in the morning, and then that's over because we see a plunge of cold air building in. So any residual moisture will freeze, I think, later this evening, maybe lending to slick roads. So watch for those icy roads as we go through time. You need the hat, gloves, a heavy coat, and the umbrella. We've got some drizzle this morning. Reduce your speed on the roads. Leave a lot of space between you and the car ahead of you, and you can leave the sunglasses at home today.
Bob, thank you. The first snowfall of the year, it can be very exciting, but it can also make for dangerous road conditions. That's why DelDOT began working way ahead of the snowfall to prepare the pavement. DelDOT says that the purpose of putting brine on the roads before the salt is so that it gives the salt something to cling to. Despite there being salt and brine on the roads, it's still very important. Drive with caution and walk with caution, especially when it's dark out. And keep your distance from plow trucks if you see them on the roads.
And in Maryland, the State Highway Administration says they're still on alert due to the storm. It's more of a precaution for travel today. Now, on Monday, crews were also pre-treating the highways with salt, brine to fight the snow and ice. And if driving today, just be mindful of potential icy spots out there. Well, this does bring us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, quite simply, how do you feel about the snowfall?
All right, still majority here saying you love it. 61% of you, 39% of you hate it. Why?
Hate.
How do you hate it? Maybe they just feel in the middle and they're going with hate.
I got one for you, Paige.
Oh, someone just voted and they hate it.
Haters gonna hate.
I thought you were going to say potatoes gonna potate.
No.
Have you heard that one?
No, I haven't.
You're just in your Taylor Swift mood today?
I am.
Bob is in his Taylor Swift mood today, too.
Swifty.
Oh, someone voted love it. I love watching this thing live. It's so cool. All right, keep voting. Keep voting.
Yeah.
If you haven't voted, go to coasttv.com or our mobile app. All right, we have some breaking news now from overnight. Donald Trump wins the Iowa caucus. The former president capturing the first state to vote in this election season. Trump made history by claiming over 50% of the vote in the biggest win ever in the caucus. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis finished a distant second, just ahead of former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley.
A very special night, and this is the first because the big night is going to be in November, when we take back our country, and truly, we do make our country great again. Thank you very much, everybody. Great honor. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And after a fourth-place finish in Iowa, businessman Vivek Ramaswamy did announce he is dropping out of the presidential race.
Well, next year, Delaware will have a new governor. So far, it's a small field of candidates attempting to follow John Carney as the top executive in the state.
And we may get a clear picture of who that will be by the end of this summer.
Days before Christmas, there were 3 candidates vying to become Delaware's next governor. 2 Democrats who currently hold key positions in the state, and the lone Republican, Jerry Price. The retired police officer has never held public office before and says his current concern about crime and drugs is what motivated him to make this effort.
Because of the drugs on the street nowadays, it's insane. There's just too many drugs, and doesn't seem like any of the politicians are handling it right.
A May 2023 analysis by U.S. News and World Report rated Delaware the 33rd state when it comes to crime and corrections. While in the northern part of the state, the crime rate has gone down in nearly every key metric in Matt Meyer's time as Newcastle County executive.
I don't think it's fair to say it's a coincidence because other places around the country it's rising. I think it's a few things. Number one is housing. You find when you provide people housing and stability, so when people have jobs, when they have housing, when they have stability, you're going to see less crime.
Emphasizing the recent gun regulation that was signed into state law in 2023, that is a priority for Hall Long.
A lot of new policies in the state, a lot of restrictions. Where are you are you in aligned with what was passed in the General Assembly, what was signed into law by Governor Carney?
This is not an infringement on Second Amendment. I was raised on a farm with young men and family hunters. But this is about common sense gun practice and safety.
2023 also saw a big push in Delaware towards electric vehicles and away from those powered by gasoline. Both Democrats are in favor of this policy with slightly different approaches to helping pay for this big change.
You want to make sure that those using fossil fuels are paying for the actual cost of those fossil fuels. There's a tremendous cost to the environment and to our communities.
Whether it's the utilization of federal opportunities and grants for all persons, no matter their zip code, we're going to have to lean in Delaware. And to me, it is most important that we have in place the infrastructure and those opportunities before putting a date or a timeline.
Bethany Hall Long's campaign announced on this afternoon that amendments to past financial reports are being made following an audit.
In the fall of 2023, just after she had announced her candidacy, Hall Long made public that she had hired an auditor to go over her campaign finances. The findings? From 2016 to 2022, she loaned her campaign more than $300,000, improperly reporting the charges as expenditures in earlier filings.
We found that, like many people, when they run for office, they raise a certain amount of money and then they have expenses. And we actually had quite a few higher expenses. And so my husband and I, very committed to the service of Delawareans, used our personal credit cards.
Look, like all Delawareans, I expect anyone elected to public office to be open, transparent. The reports are there's going to be an audit that's done. We're, like all Delawareans, we look forward to seeing that audit.
And for the Democrats, the big question is, will that audit even be a consideration when voting? Hall Long still has the endorsement of the current governor, and after the details of the audit were released, she secured the endorsements from the Democrat leadership in the state house. And for more on the interviews of all 3 of the candidates that we showed and a sneak peek at other races, you can go to coasttv.com/decision2024. And tonight on Coast TV News at 6, we continue our series, Decision 2024 Preview Week, where my feature with retiring Senator Tom Carper. I had a one-on-one interview with him. He tells us what inspired him to move to Delaware in the 1970s to begin a career in politics, and we talk about the legacy he hopes to leave behind That's tonight's installment of Decision 2024 Preview Week on Coast TV News at 6.
Looking forward to that. And as we move on this morning, Delaware State Police currently investigating a shooting incident in Ellendale. Late Sunday night, troopers were called to a home on Candy Lane following reports of gunfire. Troopers say they found the home had been hit multiple times with numerous shell casings recovered at that scene. Police say the 2 adults inside the home were not hurt. The motive for the shooting still unknown and no suspects have been identified.
There's an update to a crash we brought to you yesterday. Got some pictures here. This happened on Connolly Mill Road in Delmar just before 2 p.m. Sunday. Delmar police say a person was trapped inside the car we were showing you. You can see the damage to the windshield and how the car hit a tree. Police say the person was removed by roof lap in about 10 minutes.
A new 70,000 square foot building for the Food Bank of Delaware now open in Milford. The completion of this project comes after about 3 years of fundraising and construction. The new facility allows for one central location for volunteers to gather and distribute food, store donations, and teach others how to cook safely. An on-site cafe gives students an additional opportunity to grow in the culinary industry. The Milford Food Bank now taking applications for the next culinary class that begins January 29th.
Well, breaking overnight, the Eagles were put out of their misery in Tampa Bay with a 32-9 loss in the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. Baker Mayfield just torched the Birds defense by throwing for 337 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now, including the regular season, the Eagles finished this campaign with 6 losses in their last 7 games. And the big question now, is head coach Nick Sirianni's job safe? Well, more on the Eagles' playoff loss later on Coast TV News Today.
Right now, though, we are just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News Today.
Yep, coming up, funding fun. We'll tell you how Berlin is trying to find money for its new youth sports complex and how much it could cost.
Also, Boeing taking steps to become more transparent amid their planes still grounded by the FAA. We're telling you how they are now sharing information with airlines.
And with artificial intelligence becoming more popular, Senator Tom Carper pledging his support. We'll tell you why he says this can be beneficial to government agencies. That and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Coverage on the road, in your community, along the coast. The IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep, live on the street, day or night. From breaking news to weather in your town. The IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep, coverage you can count on.
Get your photos off your phone and have a Shutterfly designer create your photo book in just 24 hours for free. Get your photos off your phone and get 40% off everything with code PB40.
When it comes to building your new home, don't settle for anything less than the best. Bay to Beach Builders is your trusted source for experience, quality, and design. Our team of experts work with you from start to finish to create your dream home. Expect an elevated customer experience with home visualizers, virtual home tours, and technology-inspired selections in our design studios. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations in Greenwood and Ocean View, or visit baytobeachbuilders.com. Your new home journey is a click away.
This is like our forever home. This was the last piece of the puzzle. Pinnacle concrete coating actually showed me this particular floor here, which is tidal wave. I was told, I'm done. I'm good. Just let's start. When it was done, I probably sat out there for 20 minutes and just staring at the product before I went back into the house. This is not a garage. This is an extension of my home. I'm just thrilled to death with this floor. We get a discount for being a veteran. It made you real warm and fuzzy knowing that you're dealing with somebody like that. You know, I'm just impressed with what they did. It was awesome.
Villa Sorrento invites you and your family to join us for some of Delmarva's best authentic Italian cuisine. Experience the aroma of warm bread served at your table in a cozy atmosphere. Try seafood pescatore or pasta with grandma's gravy. Our New York-style pizza and strombolis are a local's favorite. Top it off with cocktails, wine, and dessert. So for great food, good wine, great friends, good times, Villa Sorrento. That's amore. That's a nice.
Just about 6:15 on this, well, rainy Tuesday morning. We're looking at the plain rain. It's a cold rain across much of the area. Interior parts of Sussex County still seeing temperatures below freezing around American Corner, Denton, Riverview. That's where you're seeing some freezing rain, some drizzle, a cold rain for Delaware and parts of Maryland. So it's interior areas that are seeing that rain right now that is freezing. So watch out here, 32 and below Seaford through Milford, but 40s along the coast. Here's Here's your boardwalk forecast. Temperatures in the 40s this morning with cloudy skies and maybe some light rain by early afternoon and turning colder.
Well, as the use of artificial intelligence becomes more popular, U.S. Senator Tom Carper is advocating for it to be used more and more by government agencies. Carper says AI has the potential to be a tool to increase efficiency, effectiveness, and accessibility for agencies like the IRS. And Carper hopes that with the implementation of AI, people will have more confidence with government agencies.
We're early in this. A lot of people are just learning to spell AI. But there's going to be a lot of continued debate in the weeks once ahead to make sure that we get this right, and we'll learn from we'll maybe do some things wrong. We'll learn from other countries. They'll learn from us. At the end of the day, let's hope for the best and work hard to ensure that we achieve it.
In October, President Biden issued an executive order to establish new standards for AI safety and security while standing up for consumers and workers.
Boeing becoming more transparent as it begins preliminary inspections on its 737 MAX 9 airplanes. Now, alongside additional quality control inspections of the 737 production line, Boeing will allow airlines into the factories and those of the contractor that build the MAX 9 fuselage. Now, this after the Federal Aviation Administration grounded the MAX 9 planes after a plug door blew out mid-flight.
A federal court has given Apple approval to change a function in its smartwatches so the company can overcome an import ban. Fix would remove a feature that measures the oxygen concentration in the blood system. Regulators previously ruled several newer models of the Apple Watch violated patents held by technology company Massimo.
We're seeing temperatures slowly creeping up this morning. 40s along the beach on a Gateway Subaru camp. Kind of cool looking lights there. Looks like flames almost. We are looking at freezing temperatures inland areas, but everybody will slowly warm up through this morning. It doesn't last long as a blast of Arctic air heads our way later today into tomorrow. I'll tell you how low we go coming up after the break.
Embrace a new journey and kickstart your New Year's resolution in a brand new Subaru from Gateway Subaru. Discover the 2024 Subaru Outback, which represents Subaru's commitment to safety, innovation, and adventure. Right now, lease a new 2024 Subaru Outback for only $299 a month, or take advantage of financing rates as low as 4.9%. Plus, Gateway has more in-stock Subaru inventory to choose from than other dealers have combined. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Discover Coastal Delaware's ultimate senior living experiences at the Lodges of Coastal Delaware. With locations in Rehoboth Beach or Lewis, you can dive into a world of sun, sea, and sand every day. Whether independent living, assisted living, or memory care, here residents enjoy a lively community of friends, laughter, and endless activities. Savor amazing food or grab a drink. The possibilities are endless. Join us and ride the wave of senior living at its finest. No matter the lifestyle you're seeking, we've got options for you.
Get ready to soar with the Hawks. Delmarva Sports Network is your exclusive home for UMES Hawks basketball. From the first whistle to the final buzzer, DSN will take you courtside. Experience the excitement of both the men's and women's teams with every dribble, steal, and three-pointer. To see the schedule or watch the games, go to delmarvasportsnetwork.com or download the DSN app. Join us all season long only on the Delmarva Sports Network, your exclusive home for UMES Hawks basketball.
The weather is brought to you by Spicer Brothers Construction. Born here to serve here.
At Spicer Brothers, we're not just about installing roofs. We're about protection, durability, and peace of mind. Our team of skilled professionals can install your last roof using the highest quality materials in as little as 1 day. And we make it easy with on-site design and digital proposal.
And right now, save $1,000 off your new roof. Plus, have peace of mind with our Platinum Plus lifetime warranty. And the best part, enjoy no interest and no payments for 18 months.
Call today and schedule your free in-home consultation because you deserve the best.
6:19 on this Tuesday morning. We're going to get a live look here at Seaford, checking out the scene there as we continue with the wet this morning, Bob. It's just a different form of wet than we had maybe about 12 hours ago.
It is. We had the snow last night, and then that transitioned to sleet and freezing rain, Matt. And still in Seaford, you could be looking at slick roads and points north and west of there. That is where we're concerned about those icy conditions. From around Seaford, farther to the north near Milford, and then points west. That's where we're worried about slick roads this morning. Anywhere south and east, we are seeing those temperatures rising above 32. But that said, still a winter weather advisory for Kent County until 8 a.m. in Sussex, Talbot, and Caroline counties as well. Interior Sussex County, Eastern Shore of Maryland, that's where you'll see those slick roads. And you still see some pink showing up there near Highway 16 and 313 in Eastern Maryland right now. Denton, Riverview, back through Federalsburg. Watch for freezing drizzle and icy roads. Anywhere south and east of that, we're seeing temperatures above freezing now, and more spotty light drizzle, light rain, southern Delaware into Maryland right now. So the real steady rain is probably over with. Just some pesky, patchy freezing drizzle north and west, and some rain along the coast, and full-blown snow, New York, Boston, and back into Pennsylvania and into the mountains back to our west as Arctic air will be working in behind this system. There's low pressure to the south, and this slowly gets pushed offshore today, and behind it, it is icy air that will be building in later today, tonight, and tomorrow. Here's Futurecast this morning. Temperatures slowly rising through the 30s and eventually into the 40s, even inland. So melting more of that snow, some patchy drizzle mid-morning. And then by noon, you can see how the winds swing around to the northwest. Here comes the colder air with falling temperatures into the afternoon. By mid-afternoon, right around freezing. So any residual moisture will freeze. 20s and 30s this evening. Then we clear it out overnight, but it's very cold. By midnight, lower 20s. And we're actually in the mid to upper teens tomorrow morning. These are actual temperatures. 17 in Millsboro, 19 in Delmar, 18 in Seaford, 18 in Dewey Beach. So even teens along the coast. And by noon, we're only into the mid-20s. We'll see a lot of sunshine, but it is just going to be a cold day as many places don't get above 30 or back into the 20s into the evening. 5 p.m. feels like temperatures this evening into the low 20s. By shortly after midnight, feeling like 9 in Ellendale, 10 in Millsboro, 12 in Fenwick Island. Then pretty much everybody is feeling like single digits with the wind tomorrow morning. That's going to be a big story, the bitter cold. And by the afternoon, feeling like teens and still very cold into Thursday morning. We get a break from the storms for a couple of days, but then by Friday, looks like another system could bring rain and snow to the area, maybe accumulating snow later Friday as we have another push of Arctic air behind this system as we head into your Saturday. One last blast of Arctic air into the weekend. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast, 41 today. That's especially this morning with falling temperatures into the afternoon. 17 tomorrow morning, 30 for a high on Wednesday despite sunshine, 42 on Thursday. But then by Friday, here comes the snow, maybe some rain along the coast. We'll fine tune that as it gets close to 38, and then really cold into the weekend. 29 on Saturday. Wow, some of those ponds might be freezing. Maybe some ice skating time. 33 on Sunday, and then 42 on Monday as we begin a warm-up.
Hey, don't forget, we are thrilled to announce CoastTV has a brand new Facebook page for the latest in news, exclusive content, and interactive discussions. Visit and follow our new page. You can head over to facebook.com/CoastTVNBC or scan that QR code that is right there on your screen, and you can stay connected with us.
Well, happening today in Dewey Beach, it's a look at how to improve the appearance of the town. Beautification is a topic that will be reviewed by the marketing committee. It could possibly vote to recommend a Dewey in Bloom project to the town commissioners as part of this effort. And this meeting will be held at the Dewey Beach Life Saving Station at 5:30 p.m.
Have you ever thought about being a foster parent? Happening today. Foster care coordinators for the Delaware Division of Family Services will be holding a virtual information session. It's from 6 to 9 for families who are interested in becoming foster parents in Sussex and in Kent County. You can register for this event on the state's website.
Up next on Coast TV News Today, funding sports fun. How Berlin is trying to get money for its sports complex. Don't go anywhere.
Delmarva's hit music station, 102.5 WBOC.
Weather shapes our lives. At Coast TV, our First Alert weather team is always at work, ensuring you have the information you need.
So we're looking forward to begin to make its way towards Fenwick Island pretty quickly here.
Because we know how much weather matters to our coastal community.
Make sure you take cover from these storms.
Our promise is to guide, inform, and protect.
Make sure you are remaining weather aware tomorrow.
Weather coverage that prioritizes you. Coast TV and the First Alert weather team. Your safety, our commitment. Take the DSN app with you wherever you go and never miss a game from your favorite local team. Whether you're on the road, stuck at the office, or out with friends and family, the DSN app notifies you when your team is on live, so you can watch the game as it happens or watch videos on demand. Keep up with local sports all from one app. From your mobile device to Fire Stick, Roku, and Apple TV, download the DSN app today. Driven by Preston Automotive Group.
Solo Cup Saturday night. It's an alternative country party with me, Jared. Brought to you by Midshore Recyclers Incorporated. Saturdays at 7 on Coast Country, 103.9 and 106.3.
From the court to your living room. Catch the dribbles and the buzzer beaters. High school basketball lives here on Delmarva Sports Network. Local teams, big dreams. Get live radar and severe weather alerts. Download the free CoastTV First Alert Weather app. Brought to you by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Discussed sports complex in Berlin is back on the table. Mayor Zach Tyndall sending a letter to the Maryland Department of Budget and Management requesting $1.2 million in state funding. That funding would be used to perform a site assessment and start the preliminary design of a youth sports complex. If this is approved, the sports complex would include 8 to 10 tournament quality multi-purpose fields, jogging trails, a playground, and restrooms.
And First Alert meteorologist Bob Try joins us again, and it might be a little while until we get a chance to dry out, Bob.
Yeah, once we dry out, it's going to be very cold air drying us out. Yeah, ouch. Yeah, as we go later today, tonight, into tomorrow. But still a little drizzly out there right now. Some cold, light rain today. I think we'll warm it to the 40s before we plunge later this afternoon. Some upper 30s to the north. And then the eastern shore of Maryland, you're pretty much stuck in the 30s to right around 40 in Vienna. And then those temperatures really bottoming out later on this afternoon. And then we start to warm it up farther south, close to 50 in Chincoteague and Ocean City before we see that colder air building in around 45 at Pocomoke City. And it will be an Arctic air mass tonight and tomorrow. Another one for the weekend. Then finally a warm up next week. I'll have more in your forecast in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you. Also coming up after the break, big repairs needed after a crash in Salisbury. Take a look at that. We'll tell you the early details officials are releasing.
Also, a new food bank opens in Milford. We'll tell you why the building has a lot more to offer than just food resources for Delawareans.
And a big win for former President Trump in Iowa overnight. We'll show you what the candidates are setting their sights on now that this first hurdle is behind them. We'll be right back.
Your wallet is always in danger. Criminals can hack your information without you even knowing. Introducing Slim Mint, an ultra-thin RFID blocking wallet that keeps your cards and cash protected. Slim Mint uses the latest RFID blocking technology to prevent thieves from stealing your info. It's ergonomically designed to optimize space and keep your belongings organized. With the auto-locking Slim Mint, your cards and money stay securely in place. It has a built-in cash clip and a flexible outer band to fit your additional cards and cash. Call or click now and get Slim Mint for just $29.99. Order in the next 5 minutes and you'll get an instant $10 discount. So it's only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get Slim Mint at this low price. There's a strict limit of 3 Slim Mint wallets while supplies last. Don't wait, order now.
Call 1-800-613-4296. Call or visit slimmintwallet.com. So call 1-800-613-4296 now.
The Polar Bear Plunge to benefit Special Olympics Delaware has become one of the first state's coldest but most popular traditions. This year there are 2 great options to plunge. You can plunge in person in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday, February 4th, or you can create your own unique plunge virtually whenever, wherever, and however cold or not you want it to be. It's not important how you plunge, it's important that you plunge and why you plunge to support thousands of Special Olympics athletes. Visit plungede.org to register.
Coast Country Cares, brought to you by Spicer Brothers.
Weather shapes our lives. At Coast TV, our First Alert weather team is always at work, ensuring you have the information you need.
So we're looking for it to begin to make its way towards Fenwick Island pretty quickly here.
Because we know how much weather matters to our coastal community.
Make sure you take cover from these storms.
Our promise is to guide, inform, and protect.
Make sure you are remaining weather aware tomorrow.
Weather coverage that prioritizes you. Coast TV and the First Alert Weather Team. Your safety, our commitment. This is Coast TV News Today.
And we're checking out the road situation, I should say, in Fenwick Island this morning, and still some wetness there. This is where Coastal Highway meets Route 54, just above the Maryland state line. It is January 16th, 2024. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Paige Marley.
Yeah, it's 6:31 a.m. as we make our way on this Tuesday morning.
Yeah, we just saw there Fenwick Island. There was some puddling on the roads in certain lanes. You can see where the road kind of dips. I experienced that a lot on my way in. Rehoboth area, Lewis, Milton.
I think the concern is Bob's been talking about, like once the temperature drops, if that's still there, there's going to be some ice.
That's right. Normally I'm like, hey, when the sun comes out, you'll be good to drive to work. But today you got to be extra careful. So let's bring in Bob right now. Bob, there's still puddling on the roads, but you're saying those could freeze as well.
They could later on today, and many places that had the snow and ice last night are now seeing just wet roads. A good chunk of our area is seeing temperatures above freezing. There is an exception. Eastern shore of Maryland, far western parts of Sussex County into Kent County. Watch out for slick, icy roads there and patchy freezing drizzle. Anywhere south and east of that is just plain rain. Now, Seaford, you've changed to plain rain, as has Bridgeville. But Easton, American Corner, Hurlock, Andrewsville, roads could be treacherous there with temperatures at or below 32. But everybody else, south and east, are warming up above 32. So it's just a plain cold rain as we got the ice farther west and then snow farther west of there and to the north through Pennsylvania and New England. So we still have a little bit of this unsettled weather to get through the morning hours, and a winter weather advisory until 8 a.m. for interior Sussex County, especially Seaford, north of Highway 9 and points west. That's where the roads will be slick, wet farther south and east. We have temperatures in the 40s along the coast, but working inland, that's where we have those below freezing temperatures. But everybody rises above freezing this morning into the 40s with some patchy drizzle, and then that Arctic plunge later this afternoon, temperatures falling through the 30s, and we'll have to watch for refreeze as we go into the evening. For the kiddos off to the bus stop, it's a cold rain this morning, 35, as long as it's not freezing. Heading home, 34, and then freezing conditions after that. Much more on the Arctic air coming up.
And then we got breaking news overnight. Polls predicted former President Trump would win big, and he did. In fact, he dominated the Iowa caucuses. But there were surprises in the race as well, and one candidate ended his bid for the White House.
And now the focus is shifting to New Hampshire. NBC's Alice Barr shows us what's next now that this first milestone is over.
The first win of the 2024 presidential race is on the board, and it's a big one. Former President Trump projected to carry Iowa with more than 50% of the vote.
We want to thank the great people of Iowa. Thank you. We love you all.
The former president clearly looking ahead to the general election, offering his Republican rivals rare compliments and promising unity.
Whether it's Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative, it would be so nice if we could come together.
While at the same time slamming President Biden.
He is the worst president that we've had in the history of our country.
No clear Trump alternative emerges from Iowa. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis outperformed the latest polls to pull out a distant second-place finish after betting big on Iowa, pouring in time and money here.
We've got our ticket punched out of Iowa.
Former UN ambassador and South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley finished closely behind DeSantis, and she'll have the advantage heading into New Hampshire, where she's built up strong support.
Our campaign is the last best hope of stopping the Trump-Biden nightmare.
Entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy dropping out of the race after finishing fourth and endorsing former President Trump. A narrowing road to the White House with election season officially underway. In Des Moines, Iowa, Alice Barr, NBC News.
There's some food for thought for you now. Imagine a world where people not only have the food they need to survive, but they also know how to prepare, even make money from that food.
Yeah, that is the vision of the Food Bank of Delaware. That's what they had in mind, spending the last 3 years building their new Milford branch. And as Coast TV's Tori Seagrave shows us, this new facility is more than just a larger building in which to operate.
The ribbon is cut and the food is spread as Milford celebrates going from this rather small facility to this 70,000 square foot building. Volunteers like Sarah Biondello say this new building will help them to help others more efficiently.
It's going to be great, not only the size, but before we were in two different buildings. So the warehouse and the volunteer room and the offices were in one building, and then the pantry, which is what this is, was in a separate building. And so now we're connected, and for volunteers it's going to be great, because if we're here and they need more help over there, we can just go over there, or we can kind of run back and forth.
What makes this new facility different from the old one are the expansion of culinary classes, a cafe ran by graduates, a logistics training program, and a pantry that acts as a grocery store, so people in need of donations can choose what items they want with more independence. CEO and president of the Food Bank of Delaware, Kathy Konevsky, says today 1 in 9 Delawareans do not have enough food to eat.
We are doing whatever we can to help put food on people's tables, whether that means putting it in backpacks, putting it in their cars if they're coming to us. But almost equally important is helping people get footing and get themselves on a track to help them sustain their livelihood.
Applications are being accepted for the first culinary class in the new building. That begins on January 29th. Cafe here at the new facility is open for breakfast and lunch, where you can get a first-hand taste of what all is being taught at this new facility. I'm Tori Seagraves in Milford, Coast TV News.
We got some big repairs needed for the Salvation Army in Salisbury. This is after a car crashed into the building. Take a look at this. This was the scene at the Salvation Army on East Vine Street on Monday. And you can see the car that crashed into the window. Officials have not yet said if anyone was hurt or the cause of the crash.
A significant stride in Maryland's Green Initiative. Governor Wes Moore says a $15 million grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation will fund the installation of 58 new electric vehicle charging stations across Maryland. These stations will provide fair climate action, and they'll be placed in various locations, including in underserved communities.
Maryland General Assembly's annual 90-day legislative session is underway, and some notable policy initiatives on the agenda include a bipartisan public safety crime package, as well as a proposed addition to the Juvenile Interrogation Act of 2022. Also, there's concerns related to higher utility costs for consumers, including sustainability and renewable energy measures taking effect. The General Assembly opened last Wednesday. The Maryland Senate introduced 343 bills for consideration over the first week alone.
It has been 15 years since the so-called Miracle on the Hudson happened in New York. U.S. Airways Flight 1549 left New York headed to North Carolina when the plane hit a flock of Canada geese shortly after takeoff. Unable to reach any nearby airport, the pilots glided the plane into the Hudson River just off the shore of Midtown Manhattan. All 155 people on board survived the landing, and they were rescued by nearby boats and emergency personnel. 100 of those people were injured, 5 of them seriously, but nobody died.
Got more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Community climate impact, how you can join others in Dewey Beach in protecting the environment there.
Also, end of the line for the Eagles, the second half season of misery. It concluded in Tampa Bay. We'll be right back.
Start the new year off generously by giving to those in need on Delmarva. Coast Country and Spicer Brothers is hosting our winter clothing drive on Saturday, January 27th from the North Salisbury Wawa parking lot. Stop by from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to donate new or gently used coats, blankets, or any warm clothing for those who need it most this winter. Join us on January 27th and make a difference in 2024. Coast Country Cares, brought to you by Spicer Brothers.
You need to lose weight, but you hate lugging out that big blender for a healthy shake. Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my Bionic Blade, the new handheld blender that's rechargeable, so you can make a fast, healthy shake anywhere. Designed like this shake bottle you take to the gym, it has the motor and blades built right into the lid. Bionic Blade quickly creates smooth drinks just like the big blenders. But this is portable, so you can make a shake anywhere. Make pina coladas right by poolside. Even grind coffee beans and make a quick, refreshing iced coffee pick-me-up on the go.
Get the Bionic Blade for just $29.99 and we'll even ship it to you free. But wait, order now and get 2 sipping lids, a second large blender container, plus the sports lid, yours free. You'll get this entire portable blending system for just $29.99. Call or click now.
To order, call 1-800-709-7148 or go to buybionicblade.com. So call 1-800-709-7148 or you can order online at buybionicblade.com.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Every day,
We are adding to the star power in our studio.
the biggest names, only on Today.
Worth coming in this early, right?
Stick around, y'all. These guys are going to be back.
We work here now.
Legit legend right here in Studio One.
We got Olivia Rodrigo.
We're just getting started, folks.
This is Scarlett. She would like to direct the show.
Can we go to commercial break now?
Everything and everyone you're talking about, only on Today.
6:40 on this mainly wet Tuesday morning. Boardwalk Plaza Cam, it's wet, not icy. 43 on the beach right now as some warmer Atlantic air is building in, pushing that warmer air in, and mainly rain and light drizzle across much of the area. Some patchy freezing drizzle still across areas of far northwest Sussex County into the eastern shore of Maryland and points north. But everywhere farther south and east, it's just patchy light rain and patchy drizzle. It's farther west that we're seeing some of that ice right now, and temperatures hovering right around freezing. Seaford back through Milford, 35 in Milton, but 40s along the coast, and more of that milder air will be pushing in. Today's checklist: watch for icy roads. Interior Sussex County, the eastern shore of Maryland. Make sure you have your hat and gloves, heavy coat, umbrella. Still a little drizzly. Reduce your speed on the roads, and you can keep the sunglasses in storage today.
Okay, sounds good, Bob. Thank you. In Lewis, a bizarre discovery has led to an arrest. Police say 57-year-old John Wanner was living illegally in a second home near Love Creek off of Route 24. Troopers say homeowners saw signs that Wanner was living in their unoccupied home, like they saw food and a TV left on. They say Wanner ran away and he left behind 3 cats and 3 dogs, but he was soon arrested in nearby woods. He now faces charges including second-degree burglary and resisting arrest.
In Delaware, the general firearm hunting season is now open. The season runs through January 21st, and the state says archery and crossbow season, that's been expected to the 31st. Muzzleloader season starts on the 22nd to the 28th. And a reminder to all Redding State Forest visitors, this includes hikers and cyclists, stay safe and wear bright clothing.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studio.
Yes, it's all up to the Ravens for your local favorites in the NFL. The Eagles fell short last night to the Buccaneers 32-9. Tampa took a 16-9 lead in the half and dominated from there. The Buccaneers beat the Birds for the second time in 3 years in the playoffs. David Moore, Chris Godwin, and Trey Palmer all scored for the Bucs. Dallas Goedert had the lone touchdown for Philly. The Eagles finished the season 1-6 in the last 7 games, while the Bucs head to Detroit to face the Lions in the NFC Divisional. Some good football news today. The Commanders will officially introduce Adam Peters as their new GM. The NFL exec last worked in the 49ers front office and now has been handpicked by Josh Harris to rebuild Washington to prominence. Peters' press conference is set for 2 p.m. this afternoon. And tonight, a huge tilt in Delaware boys basketball. Vince Evans and Seaford host Lake Forest. Both teams are tied atop the Henlopen South at 8-0. The Blue Jays are coming off a 20-point win over Woodbridge, where sophomore Vince Evans III led the way with 31 points. Lake is off to its best start under fifth-year head coach Ridge Betts. The Spartans are searching for their first win over Seaford since 2020. Tip-off tonight is scheduled for 5:15. Our coverage on DSN begins at 5:10. That's it for sports this morning. Have a great day, everybody.
Hey there, Delmarva. Here's what's happening today at 4 o'clock on Coast Life.
We love supporting the performing arts. That's why we're checking in with what's going on with the Possum Point players.
And you have a little homework to do before you tune into Coast Life. Go to our Facebook and partake in our great debate topic. We are going to hash it out right here.
We also love checking in with our friends with the Parker Group and what's going on with Dustin and Rachel.
Always a fun time. All of that and a whole lot more happening today at 4 o'clock on Coast Life.
Looking forward to Coast Life. Not looking forward to this gloomy weather. At least it's just wet right now, we think, in Seaford. But to the west, it's a little icy, so really be careful out there. We've got some temporarily warmer air building in right now, but a blast of Arctic air is headed for Delmarva later today into tomorrow with another round for the weekend. I'll have the frigid details coming up.
positive, focused,
supportive, and goal-oriented. These are just a few qualities of coaches who inspire their athletes.
Each month, the Preston Automotive Group will select a coach who makes a difference and make a $500 donation to their organization. Then at the end of the year, 3 of these coaches will receive an extra donation to their program.
Nominate your coach today at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com under the Features tab.
Delmarva Sports Network Coach Who Makes a Difference. Brought to you by Preston Automotive Group.
Embrace a new journey and kickstart your New Year's resolution in a brand new Subaru from Gateway Subaru. Discover the 2024 Subaru Outback, which represents Subaru's commitment to safety, innovation, and adventure. Right now, lease a new 2024 Subaru Outback for only $299 a month, or take advantage of financing rates as low as 4.9%. Plus, Gateway has more in-stock Subaru inventory to choose from than other dealers have combined. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Were you calling the shots, though, Mr. President, ultimately? Was the Biden administration caught off guard by this latest surge of migrants? Is it clear who's going to govern Gaza once this war is over? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
93.5 The Beach.
Weather brought to you by Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, dedicated to excellence in Delaware and Maryland.
Homeowners frequently face unexpected heating and air conditioning expenses at the most inconvenient times. For a limited time, Coastal Comfort is offering a worry-free 10-year guarantee on select systems for as low as $199 a month. Customers will also receive 10 years of parts, 10 years of labor, and 10 years of maintenance, but only with Coastal Comfort. Discover peace of mind with Coastal Comfort, keeping your home comfortable and hassle-free for years to come. Coastal Comfort, a Carrier Factory Authorized Dealer. Carrier, turn to the experts.
It is 6:46 on your rainy, dreary, kind of gross Tuesday morning. We're taking a live look at Ocean City right now, Bob, and it's really it's not going to get much better throughout the day.
You know, gross is not a meteorological term, Paige, but I think it's fitting for this morning. It is. It's gloomy out there. Thankfully, those temperatures are rising above freezing. So most areas just seeing plain rain and melting snow. It's interior areas of Sussex County, Eastern Shore of Maryland, and farther north that are seeing some of the ice. So make sure you scan the QR code. You need the CoastTV weather app during events like this to stay on top of these advisories. Even the downtimes, you want the hour-by-hour forecast. Here's our winter weather advisory. Caroline, Kent, Sussex, and Talbot counties until 8 a.m. Much of our area through this region, south of Highway 9, is good. We're looking at temperatures above freezing. It's north and west of there. That is where we're seeing some of those freezing temperatures. And you can see just plain rain now, and that freezing line getting pushed farther to the north and west. So a good chunk of our area is just seeing that liquid precipitation. Georgetown, Ellendale, patchy drizzle farther south, but maybe Bridgeville, back through areas near American Corner and Milford and north and west. That's where we're seeing some of that freezing drizzle, and maybe very slick roads, especially across the eastern shore of Maryland. But farther south and east, it's cloudy, drizzly, temperatures above freezing around Salisbury on into Maryland right now. Eastern shore, maybe some patchy freezing drizzle around the eastern area. So maybe some black ice across that region. So really take it slow until the temperatures rise above freezing. So we've got this mixed bag of precipitation across our area. To the north and west, it's just snow across Pennsylvania into New England as this complex area of low pressure is moving through. Behind it, it is Arctic air. We'll be feeling that later today, and we're seeing the clouds this morning. Temperatures rising through the 40s. Just plain rain then for everybody as we go through the morning. By noon, upper 30s, and then temperatures plunge by mid-afternoon. Those winds start howling from the northwest. Temperatures right around freezing, then below freezing at 6:30. Watch for a refreeze as we go into this evening. Any melting snow or slush could refreeze on sidewalks and roads, especially with these temperatures plunging. By midnight, 21 in Georgetown, Bethany Beach 23, Fenwick Island at 23. And by tomorrow morning, these are actual temperatures. This is not wind chill. 17 in Millsboro, 19 Delmar, 18 in Dewey Beach. Very, very cold conditions. By noon, we're only into the mid-20s, even along the coast. It's a struggle to get to 30 degrees. So very, very cold tomorrow despite the sunshine. Here's what feels like temperatures, feeling like 20s this evening. By midnight, feeling like around 10 degrees, just frigid. And by tomorrow morning, everybody is going to have to bundle up those extremities, feeling like single digits and teens into the afternoon and evening hours. So very, very cold air on the way. And then, by the way, by the end of the week, maybe another shot of some snow is coming and maybe some rain as well. So maybe another shot of accumulating snow. We'll have a few days to fine tune that. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast. 41 with the rain today. Sunshine, but cold on Wednesday, a high of 30. Back to 42 on Thursday. And snow, maybe a little bit of rain on Friday. And then another big punch of Arctic air into the weekend. 29 Saturday. At least it's dry. 33 Sunday. And then we begin a warm up on Monday. Sunshine and 42.
Disappoint me. All right, for more weather updates, make sure to pull out your phones and scan the QR code for our First Alert Weather app. You can download the app for free to get all the weather updates you need.
Dewey Beach wants to get the community involved in its fight against climate change. The town is Climate Change Committee actively seeking new members, homeowners, property owners, and business owners who are passionate about protecting Dewey Beach, all encouraged to join. This committee playing a crucial role in developing strategies for resilience to rising sea level and climate change impacts.
Well, there's less than 24 hours left to apply for the open position on the Dagsboro Planning and Zoning Commission. Applications must be received at the town hall no later than 4:30 p.m. today. Town says those applying for the position must live or be a property owner in Dagsboro for at least 3 years.
It's now 6:50 this morning. Let's check in with our coastal pet of the day, brought to you by Maggie's Pet Boutique.
All right, today's pet snuggled up in bed, warm and cozy on this wintry snow day. You can see this adorable pet right here on your screen, and I'm sure this dog gets whatever it wants. Just look at that face. Aww. Who could say no to that face? Well, this picture was sent to us by Debbie.
Thank you so much, Debbie. I wish I was doing what your dog is doing right now, laying in bed. We want to see your pets on Delmarva. Keep sending us adorable photos just like that one and tell us what makes them special.
All right, on your screen is the email address. You can send your photos in and watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
Weather-wise, still probably seeing some frozen precipitation. Farther north, Bay Health camera 32 in Milford. Watch for slick conditions there. Points west and north as well. We get a brief period of melting, then another blast, I should say, of Arctic air as we go through this evening and tonight, and then another one as we go on into the weekend. Then a warm-up after that. I'll have your weekend forecast coming up with your 10-day forecast included after the break.
Turn on Bionic Spotlight Extreme 360, the motion-activated home defense light that looks just like a security camera. It detects even the slightest motion and automatically triggers 6 ultra-bright LED high beams. Call or go online and order your Bionic Extreme 360 for just $19.99. Plus, get free shipping on your entire order.
To order, call 1-800-316-1548 or go online to buybionic360.com. Call now.
The Polar Bear Plunge to benefit Special Olympics Delaware has become one of the first state's coldest but most popular traditions. This year there are 2 great options to plunge. You can plunge in person in Rehoboth Beach on Sunday, February 4th, or you can create your own unique plunge virtually whenever, wherever, and however cold or not you want it to be. It's not important how you plunge, it's important that you plunge and why you plunge to support thousands of Special Olympics athletes. Visit plungede.org to register.
Coast Country Cares, brought to you by Spicer Brothers.
Life isn't always easy. Sometimes we need a little bit of help to work through life's more challenging problems. At Addiction Medical Facility, we are here for you, believing in your strengths to overcome any obstacle. Whether it's addiction to substance use disorders or mental health issues, there's hope for a better tomorrow. Together, we can tackle what is holding you back. Our medication-assisted treatment combines FDA-approved medication with counseling, offering a holistic approach tailored to your needs. Addiction Medical Facility. Together, we find hope and healing.
Get your cowboy boots and your rhinestones ready, Tam fam. Welcome to Las Vegas.
One of the greatest Vegas residencies of our time, Miranda Lambert. Woo! The most decorated artist in ACM history is giving the Tam fam an exclusive backstage pass.
Look at that. I'm with Miranda Lambert and we're acting up. Next, Cameron Hall.
Tuesday at 3 on CoastTV.
Unspeakable family fun.
Here's your time to shine. Go ahead.
But wait.
We're not playing charades.
Or are we?
I hope that's not our next puzzle.
Playing charades.
You just set me up.
Tuesday at 7 on CoastTV.
Past champions return.
To Jeopardy Champions Wildcard. All of them hoping to become our single winner and punch their ticket right into the Tournament of Champions.
What will it all come down to?
How bold do you want to be?
Tuesday at 7:30 on Coast TV.
It is 6:54. It's time now for some things you need to know before you go. Donald Trump wins the Iowa caucus. The former president captured the first state to vote in this election season. Trump made history by claiming over 50% of the vote in the biggest win ever in the caucus. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis finished a distant second, just ahead of former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley.
A long-discussed sports complex in Berlin is back on the table. Mayor Zach Tyndall is sending a letter to the Maryland Department of Budget and Management requesting $1.2 million in state funding, and that money would be used to perform a site assessment and start the preliminary design of a youth sports complex.
And a new 70,000 square foot building for the Food Bank of Delaware, that's now open in Milford. The completion of the project comes after about 3 years of fundraising and construction. The new facility allowing for one central location for volunteers to gather and distribute food, store donations, and teach others how to cook safely. An on-site cafe will give students an additional opportunity to grow in the industry. The Milford Food Bank now taking applications for the next culinary class that begins January 29th. One Kentucky city wants to expand its tourism outreach beyond just Earthlings.
Yeah, I feel this one's for you, Paige. Lexington's Convention and Visitors Bureau created an extraterrestrials guide to the city.
In case what, aliens come down?
I think so.
Okay. It includes images of local scenery as well as the molecular structure of water and bourbon.
All right. Well, it has the blessings of the FAA. They beam the message to Earth-sized planets 40 light years away. And they also sent an audio recording of local blues music and a quote saying, "Come to Lexington. We have horses and bourbon. Just don't eat us."
People have to stop inviting aliens to Earth without asking the rest of us.
Right.
I live here too.
And maybe I just don't want a dangerous-looking alien coming around.
I will go to Lexington for bourbon. The aliens don't need to.
Good point, Paige.
Thank you. Okay, there's my hot take for the day.
All right.
6:56. Let's take a look at your forecast before you head out your door.
Yeah, we got one final check, Bob, as we continue with that cold.
You know, that sounded like an episode from The Twilight Zone. Oh, no. You know, there was an episode where the aliens came down. It was a cookbook, and it was a cookbook to learn how to cook humans, and it was called To Serve Man. Yeah. Amazing. Anyway, how do I segue to weather? We're looking at frigid conditions this morning. Temperatures in the 30s. Interior Sussex County, watch out for slick roads there. Otherwise, just wet roads. Temperatures rising into the low 40s with rain. And then we start the plunge into the afternoon. Maybe a snowflake with the raindrops in the afternoon, turning bitterly cold into the afternoon hours. Here's your Paul Davis 10-day forecast. Down to 17 tomorrow morning. Feeling much colder with the wind. A high of only 30 on Wednesday and then 42 on Thursday. Another round of snow possible on Friday with some rain. A really cold weekend, upper 20s on Saturday, 33 on Sunday. And then here's Matt Pensick's warm-up. Beginning on Tuesday, a high of 50, up to 57 on Thursday with some rain showers.
My T-shirt weather.
Look at that. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us here on Coast TV News today.
All right, the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
We'll be back with Coast TV midday at 11, so stick around.
And for even more news and coverage, you can count on download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Tuesday morning, everybody.